This some old bullshit. I tell you what, this here zombie apocalypse ain't living up to what it is supposed to be. It ain't nothing like we were told it would be. They got it all wrong. Even them zombies ain't acting right. The apocalypse couldn't have showed up at a worse possible time. First, it had to happen when I was back home in Texas visiting for a spell. Second, it had to be smack dab in the middle of the hottest summer on record. And third, and if that ain't already bad enough, them zombies had to be runners. Not shamblers, but runners. And them some bitches run fast too. Now, I was like everybody else. I played the games and watched all the movies. I never missed an episode of that TV show. I fantasized about the day them zombies would show up and bite the shit out of everybody. Especially all them some bitches at the credit card companies. I was so sick of them bill collectors harassing me like a bunch of old buzzards. Explain this to me. Why would you keep calling me when, 1, I know I ain't got your money. 2, you know I ain't got your money. 3, we both know you ain't never gonna get your money. What's so difficult to understand about that? They just don't get it through their thick heads and nothing changes. Except, now they're getting meaner. This one time, this lady was giving me an attitude on the phone, and I gave it right back to her. I said, "Lady, what the hell is wrong with you? Calling me with this bullshit and wasting my anytime minutes." Ooh, the devil came out of her. She cussed me out up one side of me and down the other, using words and combinations I ain't never heard of. She even called me back after I hung up on her loud ass. It weren't not a minute later when that phone was ringing off the hook again, and sure enough, it was her. She was screaming, "Oh, hell no, I know you didn't just hang up on me. I tell you what, if you're a zombie with bad credit, you best steer clear of her, 'cause she'll get you. She'll get you real good." I don't know how they keep getting my phone number. I could change my number every other week and it still wouldn't do no good. It wouldn't be long before my phone be ringing all times of the day. It got to a point where I couldn't answer my phone without using my fake phone accent. "Dar, hello? Hello, may I speak with Mr. Swanson?" "The who?" "Swanson, I'm looking for Mr. Swanson. Is he available?" "The who?" "Swanson, may I speak with him, please?" "He no here." "When do you expect him?" He no live here. He move other place. You call here no more." Eventually, they caught on to my ruse. But you know what? I'd come to a decision. It was time in my life for me to start being more like a better person. More sensitive and such, you know? I want to be more like Owen Wilson. So, I took the very next call and was as polite as I could be to that there bill collector. It didn't matter. That bastard was still all uppity, talking down to me like I was some kind of degenerate. He said, "Mr. Swanson, we have been more than patient with you. We've given you extensions and numerous grace periods. We have listened to your excuses, and we have tolerated your dreadful and slightly offensive, might I add, attempts at disguising your voice, which, by the way, fooled no one. We demand this issue be resolved immediately. When can we expect payment on the balance due on your account?" I was like, "Well, you can expect payment anytime you'd like. How about this? Why don't you pick a date and we'll both be surprised on that date when you still ain't got your money." I guess I could be more like that there Alec Baldwin. As nice all, but still keeps a temper to himself. Nope. This here zombie apocalypse ain't nothing like it should have been. There ain't no fully stocked grocery stores just waiting to be plundered. There ain't no food, no guns, no shelter. There even ain't no running water and no lights. And That don't even make no goddamn sense. Why the hell ain't there no more running water or lights? What the hell do zombies have to do with plumbing and electricity? Well, whatever happened, it all went down in a matter of days. Before we knew it, us humans were at the bottom of the food chain. Shit, even the pets have been turned on us. They ain't stupid. They saw their chance and they took it too. The other day, I saw this old man get his ass tore up by a pack of chihuahuas. Chihuahuas! And don't get me started on them cats. Them little sumbitches are just as bad as them zombies, only meaner and smarter too. But that's a story for another time. Yep, there ain't no one you can trust. There ain't no state-of-the-art government facility full of super smart science folks who are gonna fix everything. They sure ain't gonna find no obvious cure hidden in some simple house plant that's been starting back at time this whole time. Nope. And there most definitely ain't no pockets of civilians left out there. No one waiting to open arms to take in the prodigal son who's come wandering in from the wilderness. None of that happened. I remember when I used to listen to the news and hear about the state of the world. We sure do make a mess out of everywhere we go. The stupid shit we do and the predicaments we get ourselves into is downright shameful. I bet you the good Lord Almighty was looking down and he finally got tired of all the dumb shit we do and said, I've had it. I've had it with all them folks down there. He's right, you know. Even before the apocalypse came around, I was saying it all the time. I said, you know what? There's so much dumb in the world today. There's like a pestilence of dumb sweeping across the land. And everyone knows that good Lord don't like dumb. No sirree Bob, he sure don't like no dumb. Shit, I remember when I was a little boy. There was these two dumb kids that sat in front of me in school, Michael and Jackson. We was taking a pop quiz one day and them two fools was whispering loud and noisy like, thinking they were gonna cheat off each other. Lord, them two ding-dongs are dumber than a bag of dirt. They're so dumb they couldn't find their asses even if they had both hands in their back pockets. Jackson leaned over all sneaky like and said, Michael, what you got for question number 2? What old MacDonald have? Michael gave a big old sign to Dummy MacDonald had a farm. Oh, said Jackson. He paused for a minute. You could see the smoke start coming out of his ears from thinking so hard. Finally he said, how do you spell farm? Michael rolled his eyes and whispered loudly, are you stupid or something? How do you think you spell farm? It's spelled E-I-E-I-O, dummy. Last I heard, them two fools got so drunk one weekend, they busted their car up the side of a Dairy Queen. Like I said, there's a whole lot of dumb in the world today. Yes, sir. But, anyways, no one took it serious when the first of them zombies started popping up. TV said it was junkies high on that, whatchamacallit. Oh yeah, bath salts. That's it, bath salts. No, they sure do make some nice smelling bubbles and all, but I never would have guessed you could get high off them things. What will they think of next? Anyways, soon it was all over the news. You'd hear they'd find one over here eating on somebody or over there chewing on somebody. Good Lord. Then there was that woman on the TV all the time. She was on every channel shooting her mouth off with her alternative facts. Oh, I swear I saw her the other day. I went into town and there she was. I knew it was her the moment I laid my eyes on her. She was there swishing and swashing up and down the street with the other undead people. If she got too close to the other zombies, they'd stagger away in the opposite direction, like they just remembered they had somewhere else to be. Apparently, death hasn't done nothing to improve her social skills. Well, you'd never have guessed it, but she looked exactly the same as she do on TV. I swear. She was stumbling around with her old Bigfoot hair and crazy makeup put on crooked. I bet you anything that poor thing would still be going on and on about her alternative reality if her tongue hadn't just fallen out of her mouth and snatched up by that there hound dog. Yep, she there does look like she do in person. Yes, she does, bless her heart. Well, back to my point. I now spend my days hiding from both the living and the dead. Oh, and them cats too. You have to always be on lookout for them critters. If you're not careful, they'll get you. And the last thing you'll hear is a bunch of meows from swarms of furious furlines. I tell you, I never thought it'd be like this. I imagined after the apocalypse, I'd be this badass lone road warrior who wandered place to place, getting into adventures and such. My 2 silver guns holstered to my side, and my shotgun would be my only companion. I'd be in a beat-up old 1971 Plymouth Barracuda with the radio blasting. I'm a cowboy on a steel horse, I ride. I'm wanted, dead or alive. Oh, and a sword. I'd want a sword too. I'd carry it on my back like He-Man done did in them cartoons I was fond of when I was a youngin'. Oh, Mama hated them cartoons. One time she caught me watching one after school, and she howled like a goddamn screech owl. She said, "Sweet Jesus, why that man had got no clothes on? And why do all them girls look like whores of Babylon?" I count my blessings to this very day she never got a good look at what them Thundercats were wearing. Poor Mama, bless her heart. I had to put her down myself, but she's in a better place now. She's up in heaven with Jesus, bumming cigarettes off St. Peter in the front of them pearly gates. I sure do hope they have enough of her beer she likes up there. She can't be going too long without her beer. She gets real mean. Jesus don't tolerate none of that belligerence, no. He don't. He'll kick her ass out of heaven in a second, and I tell you what, the devil will have his hands full with her. I remember one time she decided that she was gonna quit drinking because that's what Jesus would want her to do. It weren't but a day when we found her out back going through empty cans and bottles. She was shaking each one over her mouth to see if she could get anything out of them. Her tongue was like a goddamn snake, licking the inside of them bottles, trying to get the very last drop. We told her, "Mama, if you could just moderate your consumption of alcoholic beverages, you wouldn't be in this predicament. You know when you get to licking that liquor, you don't act right. Haven't you got enough sense to see that when you get drinking, you get mad? And when you get mad, you start cussing. Then before you know it, you start fighting. I'm telling you, I ain't doing it no more. I ain't taking no more punches from you. And that Dairy Queen is getting real tired of people bashing their cars into their establishments." So, it was during my annual obligatory visit to the farm when the shit done hit the fan. I didn't know what was gonna do to Mama. She really was in no shape to be evident hordes of ravenous zombies and such. There ain't no nice way to put it, but she done definitely let herself go in the past few years. My Aunt Sissy said she got so big they were afraid of for her life every time she sat in her favorite rocking chair. They took losing 2 porch cats before they realized something needed to be done. Poor little bastards. They had to reinforce that old chair with lug nuts just to support her big ass with the level of a confidence. She told everyone that Dr. Harris said her weight gone down come from a glandular problem. Huh? A glandular problem? I said, Mama, the only gland you have problems with is your saliva gland. But honestly, she didn't have a weight problem. She could not wait to eat. Ha ha! I should have been one of those professional joke tellers. Well, we were about to hightail it out of here from the farm when that girl from up yonder showed up on our front porch. What was her name again? Jenny. Oh yeah, a real sweet girl with those fucked up eyes. It was a damn shame too, 'cause it was next to impossible to have a serious conversation with that girl. I tell you, she was so bug-eyed she looked like a big old bullfrog wearing eyeshadow. She had this one eye that was normal, but the other one would do whatever the hell it wanted to. Damn, I dared anybody to try to converse with her normal-like and get severe case of heebie-jeebies. You couldn't tell if she was looking at you or looking at your boots. You believe me? That's mighty distracting when a fella's trying to organize his thoughts proper-like. Back in the day, my mama and her mama used to be friends. Mama told her that they should take little Jenny out to see them doctors over in Galveston. They'd fix her up real good and all, Mama would say. She said she read somewhere that they'd put these wires on her head and shock her until her eyes started acting right. Woo! They'd shock her good. Them doctors would turn up the power full blast and shock her until her teeth started chattering. But no, they decided to let that eye be. Ooh, I did hear, though, that eye of hers did have some unique talents. I heard it could do things like see around corners and peer through walls just like magic. But I ain't one to gossip, so y'all didn't hear that from me. Oh, she used to babysit for them all Taylor kids, baddest kids in town. They were the most disrespectful, foul-mouthed little shits you'd ever encounter. Just one bad to the bone, not a good one in the whole bunch. The only person who could control them monsters was Miss Jenny. On the first night, they were doing what they normally do, just being bad, talking back, cussing, and not minding no one. It got to be too much for that poor girl, and all that stress got to her. Before you knew it, it set off that crazy eye of hers, and it got to zipping and zapping this way and that. Well, damn near scared the living bejesuses out of those kids. You could see those kids diving out the windows, busting down the doors, crashing through the walls just to get away from her. Although I reckon there was some good that came out of it all. From that night forward, there was no problem disciplining them kids. All you had to say was, if y'all don't mind me, I'm gonna get old Jenny to come and look at you. What the hell was I talking about? Oh, we came out of the house and there was little Jenny. She was all dirty and tore up like she had run in with a pack of pissed off coyotes. The three of us looked eyes and felt like we were staring each other down for eternity. One bloodshot eye stared at Mama, the other one fixated on me. Well, more like a general location of my left elbow, but I understood her intent. Well, whatever goes in their heads, I could tell you I was working overtime, trying to decide which one of us would taste better. Not to be insensitive or nothing, but it wasn't a difficult decision to make if you were me. Looking for more bang for your buck. I don't care how long you've been dead, you can tell the difference between a snack and a banquet. And this girl looked hungry too. A low growl began to emerge from the girl. It got louder and louder. Then she charged Mama. What happened next, I swear on my daddy's grave, is the honest truth. If I'm a lion, then the rattlesnakes don't like to shake their rattles. Little Jenny jumped on top of Mama and they crashed to the ground. They rolled around a couple times and lucky for me, Mama ended up on top of the girl. That girl was flatter than a pancake under the weight of Mama's big old ass, and that poor crazy eye of hers looked like it was about to pop out and shoot across the sky, never to be seen again. That's when it happened. Mama turned and noticed that in the midst of the scuffle, her last beer had been knocked over. Scrambling to her knees, she gave a big old yell and holler. "Sweet Jesus! God in heaven, my beer!" Ho, ho, Lord, Mama was mad now. She was madder than a wet cat on a rainy day. In all the confusion and screams of, "Quick, Billy, go get that towel over there. Go on, get it." Jenny had unflattened herself and was on her feet again. She ran full speed and grabbed a hold of old woman with all her might. Through the growls and snarls, she then bit down on Mama's throat, and then, out of the blue, she stopped. She grew calm and quiet. Then she looked up at me. Well, kind of, but I've already sufficiently beat the old crazy-eyed horse to death. This look of confusion spread across her face. No, it was more like bewilderment. She sniffed at the bloody mess she had made of Mama. She smacked her lips a couple of times like she was tasting something particular. Finally, she made a face like she had just tasted the nastiest thing ever to exist on God's green earth. The look of revulsion had emerged from the face almost made me bust out a-laughing. Then it hit me. I knew that face. I knew it very well. Mama had given Miss Jenny NyQuil face. You know, the face you make after drinking the green shit for a cold. That got me thinking after all this time. You'd think they would come up with something better tasting than that nasty green death flavor. Cherry tastes like shit too. Anyways, that gave me the opportunity to gather my wits about myself, and I pulled out my handgun. I aimed it real careful like at the face that was now sticking its tongue out and gagging. Before I pulled that trigger, I thought to myself, I knew it. That old woman was so mean, if anything ever tried to eat her up, it would either spit her out or curl up and die. There was nothing much more I could do for Mama. She was pretty much done. I made sure it was permanent. She was a proud woman, and I knew she'd want me to keep her dignity even in death. It's the least I could do. Because, truth be told, you know there ain't nothing more pathetic than when a fat zombie tries to run you down.